guys, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing cysteamine cream, or Cyspera as it's called, for hyperpigmentation and melasma. I've gotten a lot of requests to please review this product. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrea. I'm a board certified dermatologist. I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. All right, what is cysteamine cream? Cysteamine cream also goes by the brand name Cyspera. It is an over-the-counter cream that you can buy, and it's been shown to be effective in the treatment of hyperpigmentation, melasma, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is that discoloration that happens like with healing acne, bug bites, and scratches and whatnot. It is effective, but we don't know too much how exactly it works. Cysteamine is a metabolite of L-cysteine, a naturally occurring component of cells, and it is thought to work by inhibiting some of the enzymes that lead to upregulation of pigment production, things like tyrosinase and the conversion of dopa to dopaquinone. It's also an antioxidant, so it can help fight off free radical damage that ultimately leads to upregulation of pigment production. Some studies also suggest that cysteamine can increase intracellular levels of the antioxidant glutathione. How well does it work? Truthfully, we don't have that many studies on cysteamine cream in the treatment of diseases of hyperpigmentation or melasma. A lot of it is clinical experience using the cream. I have to tell you guys, it is effective. And we do have randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trials demonstrating efficacy in the treatment of epidermal melasma. And at the end of the study, those using the cysteamine cream had substantial improvement in their melasma over placebo. Who benefits from using L-cysteamine cream? In my experience, people who have either failed standard of care hydroquinone or don't want to use it because it's irritating, they don't tolerate it well, or they've used it and now they need to switch to something that is better to use long term. As you all know from my videos on hydroquinone, it cannot be used indefinitely. There is a risk of irritation, rebound worsening of hyperpigmentation, and very rarely something called pseudoachronosis with long-term use of hydroquinone. In contrast, cysteamine appears to be safe to use indefinitely and does not come with that risk of rebound worsening hyperpigmentation. Unlike hydroquinone, you can use cysteamine to areas of skin that are not experiencing hyperpigmentation, whereas hydroquinone, you need to just use it to the dark spots only. In my experience, it's a nice option for people who have failed standard of care hydroquinone or standard of care Kligman's formula, which is basically a combination of hydroquinone, tretinoin, and a corticosteroid. It goes under the prescription brand name Triluma cream. So people who have failed that or they've used it, now they need to transition to something as maintenance. I think cysteamine is a nice option. Who should not use cysteamine cream? It is contraindicated to use if you have a personal or family history of vitiligo, which is a condition where your immune system basically attacks the pigment cells and results in areas of loss of pigment or white patches. So this would be contraindicated if you have a personal or family history of that condition, vitiligo. It's also not known if cysteamine cream is safe during pregnancy or lactation. So if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, we recommend that you not use it. Unfortunately, with pregnancy, that's a time when melasma often first appears or gets a lot worse. Melasma is commonly known as a mask of pregnancy. So unfortunately, we just don't know if it's safe or not. Who should not use cysteamine cream? If you have a personal or family history of vitiligo, it is contraindicated to use cysteamine cream. If you're not familiar with vitiligo, it is an autoimmune disease in which your immune cells basically attack the pigment producing cells in your skin, resulting in white patches or hypopigmentation. If you're not sure if you have that or not, see a board certified dermatologist. The safety of cysteamine cream in pregnancy or breastfeeding is not known, so for that reason, we don't recommend using it if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. I know that's frustrating to hear, especially since melasma often first appears during pregnancy and or gets a lot worse during pregnancy because of those hormones. It's commonly referred to as the mask of pregnancy. How do you use cysteamine cream? It's actually pretty easy. It's something that you're going to use at nighttime to a clean, dry face. After you wash your face, before applying cysteamine cream to the affected area, you actually want to wait at least an hour after washing your face. The reason for this is that if you wash your face and put the cysteamine cream on right away, it can be very irritating. So wait at least an hour after washing your face and then apply the cysteamine cream to clean, dry skin. You can apply it to just the areas of hyperpigmentation or you can apply it to a more widespread area. When you apply it, you will feel a warm tingling sensation. That is to be expected. You're gonna leave it on the skin for 15 minutes, and then you're gonna wash it off with a gentle cleanser. After you wash it off and you rinse the skin, I recommend that you apply a moisturizer to the skin right away. This will help reduce irritation and dryness. And when you go to bed at night, it also will help your skin lose less water so your skin stays hydrated, less prone to irritation, which ultimately will help even more in the journey against hyperpigmentation. I will list down below in the description box some of my favorite gentle cleansers and moisturizers. That would be a great option to use with cysteamine cream. And as a note, not only can it be used on the face, but it can be used to treat hyperpigmentation on the body as well. In the beginning, you actually need to use it nightly for 16 weeks. After that, you should see good results. To maintain those results, you want to then switch over to using it twice a week. So that's nice. You don't have to use as much, and it will save you money that way in the long run to not have to use it every night. In my mind, as a dermatologist, there are a few advantages of using cysteamine cream over standard of care hydroquinone or the Kligman formula or Triluma. And that is, some people just don't respond to those well, and this is a nice option for those folks. And those treatments cannot be used indefinitely, so this is a nice maintenance treatment for people who have a chronic disease that needs ongoing treatment. Melasma is a chronic skin condition. There's no cure for it, and as you guys out there with melasma, it often comes back. It's not toxic to the melanocytes, so it's safe to use on areas of normal appearing skin where you don't have any hyperpigmentation. So those are, relative advantages, you might say. Disadvantages are a big one, cost. This is a non-drug cosmetic. It's $200, but if you have substantial melasma, I think you kind of need to weigh the cost benefit for yourself if it's something right. Definitely a conversation to have with your treating dermatologist, because if you have melasma, some forms of melasma are not going to likely to respond to this. The dermal component of melasma is not likely to respond to this. So if that's what you've got going on, don't just go buy this. Speak to your dermatologist, make sure that your melasma is the type that has a good chance of potentially responding to this. Can you combine this with other ingredients? The nice thing about cysteamine, you can use it along with other ingredients, things like licorice root, niacinamide, other ingredients that also work to fight against hyperpigmentation. It doesn't appear as though it interacts with those, although we don't really have data to substantiate that, but it seems as though that would be fine. So you could just put those on after you've rinsed the skin. But personally, I would caution you against combining too many things with it, especially during that 16-week period of time where you're using it every night. So taking a step back, now that you know what it is, how it works, and that there's some data to show that it works, think of it this way. Think of it as kind of an assistant in your journey to improve your hyperpigmentation, but it's not a cure. Key for all of this is to be really aggressive with your sun protection, wearing a broad spectrum sunscreen every single day, including when you're mostly indoors, all year round, regardless of the weather. Just wear it to protect your skin from both the ultraviolet radiation and visible light that come from the sun that upregulate pigment producing pathways and contribute to early onset and more persistent, stubborn hyperpigmentation. That is an ongoing thing that you always will have to be mindful of and continue to protect your skin. This is not a replacement for that. And the other thing to be mindful of is exposure to irritating products. If something causes irritation, it can upregulate pigment production in the skin. So if something's irritating to you, you want to take a step back from that. Also, heat can exacerbate melasma. Heat on the skin, like sitting by a warm oven or something, it causes vasodilation of the skin. And beyond pigment, a component of melasma pathogenesis, is a vascular component. Dilation of blood vessels leads to worsening of the melasma. So be mindful of that. And also, beyond sun protection, heat, and staying away from irritating skincare products, you also have to understand that hormones, they're part of your physiology. You can't get rid of them, and they do contribute. Hormones related to pregnancy, certain forms of birth control or IUDs that release hormones, they can cause this. And in many cases, those forms of birth control or the IUD, they're needed for medical reasons. And so you just have to understand that. Also, people who have thyroid disease are more likely to suffer from melasma. So those are things that creams are not going to get rid of. And you just need to understand that part of the chronicity is underlying medical components that you either can't change or, are always going to be something in the background. So Cyspera is definitely an option if you have hyperpigmentation or melasma. I will point out it's more though than just cysteamine in the cream. It has a backbone of shea butter, which is a very moisturizing ingredient. So that's nice. It helps reduce any irritation just to have that moisturizing cream vehicle. And it also has niacinamide, another wonderful ingredient in the fight against hyperpigmentation and melasma, as well as reducing redness and irritation and helping with moisture retention. However, some people their skin is easily irritated by niacinamide. So if that's you, I wouldn't shell out $200 for this cream because it does have niacinamide and that could aggravate things. Likewise, this product has fragrance. Now the fragrance is added because cysteamine smells like rotten eggs. It's got a sulfury smell. So that's why they add fragrance to it. Fragrance in skincare products can be very irritating for many people. Some people are allergic to it. So if you're allergic to it, you would, again, need to avoid this. So in summary, cysteamine is an option for improving hyperpigmentation and melasma, but it's not necessarily a cure. I would say this, if you're gonna use it, take before and after photos, document your journey. That way you can see if you're getting results or not. Because people, you might not get like I said, it's not gonna necessarily erase everything. And at the end of the 16 weeks, having that photographic evidence, wow, I do see that has taken away quite a bit of that pigment. So definitely do photographs. I'd say take a photograph monthly and kind of lay it out side by side at the end of the 16 weeks to see how things go. So that's what I can tell you guys about cysteamine cream. I really wish it were more affordable, especially given that this is a chronic, melasma at least, is a chronic medical condition of hyperpigmentation. It'd be nice if it were, $6 instead of $200. So comment below if you guys have used it, what your experience was, how it went, but I think it's, nice to have as a potential option. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.